What's up guys, Brian here for Placid5, and welcome to episode 1 of our new series called Hot Takes, where we take a look at some of our unpopular opinions, or opinions that go completely against what so many people are saying, controversial opinions, etc, etc. Today we're going to be looking at the topic of discussion, the movie Aftersun. This movie came out in 2022. It's directed by Charlotte Wells and stars our two main leads, Paul Mescal and Frankie Corio. Now, this movie follows a father and a daughter as they share this sort of melancholy holiday somewhere, a vacation, and sort of a reflection about their relationship during this time. And it's very slow paced, but it is very vulnerable, and it shows you sort of their relationship. That's really what it focuses on. Now, before I get into what I didn't like about it, or why I didn't like it, I'm gonna go in and tell you what I liked about it. I thought that the visual aesthetic of the movie was excellent, has really good cinematography, has awesome moments where they kind of used the framing to sort of show symbolically what's going on between this father and daughter duo and everything like that. And the main thing also is the acting. I think the two main leads do an incredible job of showing the father and daughter relationship, which you seldomly see in movies actually. That it's sort of this relationship that isn't shown that much in movies. I mean, it's shown here and there, but it's something that isn't really explored that much. And just something about these two characters, it felt so unbelievably real. Just every time they spoke, the way they looked at each other, this relationship that is throughout the movie, that's probably the best part of the movie. That's probably why a lot of people like the movie, because of their acting, but also because of how much they're able to sell this relationship. The ending is really good, and that's another reason why people really love the movie, because of the ending. It really hits you. It's one of those movies that kind of gets under your skin, and then the ending comes and it's a gut punch, to see all that time. So those are the good things about it. That's what I liked. I'm not saying I hated the movie, but I disliked it. And why is that? The main thing that kept me back from actually really enjoying the movie was the pacing. Now, first off, I'm going to say this. I like slow movies. I don't mind slow movies. I'm not one of those people that, I need action in my movies, or I need it moving super fast. No, I don't care about the speed of the movie. All I ask is that if you are going to make a slow movie, I want there to be constant character progression, or at least every scene adds a little more and a little more and a little more until we get the picture. And this movie does that, but the way they go about it, I wasn't a fan of it. And the main problems I had with it was these shots that just linger on for so long. Now again, not one of those people. Plenty of great movies do that. There's so many movies out there that just stay on a shot for so long, right? But there's always a reason for it. And yes, while there is somewhat of a reason to do it in this movie, there is moments where I am really thinking, okay, what are they trying to show here? And the movie's short as it is, so if you're gonna have those shots that just linger for so long and aren't really saying much, even though the movie wants you to think that it's saying something, when I have a 30-40 second shot or more, a minute, or I don't know how long it was, of just the father sitting outside the balcony smoking a cigarette, what is that telling us? What is that progressing in the story exactly? Yes, I know I'm supposed to look at that and get sort of a vibe or a feeling of what the dad is all about. You're supposed to look at it and look at his mannerisms and look at how he acts and look at the scenario that, he's outside smoking a cigarette while his daughter's inside sleeping. I get that. I'm not naive about that. But when you're going to do it for that long, the problem is, at least for me, and I guess I'm the only one on this boat, I start to become aware of that. When a movie is being extra slow, super slow, to the point where now it's showing me stuff that are so mundane, it's too mundane, right? And I know a vacation's supposed to be mundane, and there's going to be stuff like that, and maybe that's what they were going for. But it's mundane to the point where I am aware of it now. Now I'm sitting there looking at this and saying, okay, it's been 45 minutes, and not much has happened during that time, and there's been multiple shots of just straight either laying in a bed or a mirror or a TV, or she's playing at the pool for a little bit, or he's outside smoking a cigarette, like I'm saying. And it just lingers on it, and it just makes you watch it. Like you're watching it, you're capturing all the mundane parts of a vacation with barely any talking, and when there is talking, it is that realistic dialogue, which I have to give them props for. I don't mind if it's super realistic or mundane, to the point where you believe that it is you're almost watching real footage, and that's good. And there's directors I love to do, like the Sadfi brothers and other like directors love just having these authentic moments that just feel like they're not acting, they're just actually real people, and it captures that. But to a certain point, you can't do it to the point where now I'm fully aware of it. Now I'm thinking to myself, where are we going with this? Is it now? It's too slow, and it's unfortunate because I don't mind slower paced movies. I've never had a problem with them, but when a movie gets to this slow, it gets that slow, and then it takes me out of the movie. It completely takes me out of the movie. I start to now think of, okay, where are we going with this? And it actually starts to barricade me between the characters, because now I'm thinking more about the actual movie and the pacing rather than the actual characters, because not enough is happening with the characters for me to actually care, actually invest in them. I like the characters, but I was never able to really like them or truly get into their position, right? And stuff does happen later into the movie, little moments, and the ending really does like break your heart in a way. But what about the first half of the movie, right? It's hard for me to forgive that. By that point, I'm kind of out of it, and they bring me in a little bit, but it's not enough. And I think that as a viewer, you should never be aware of the pacing of the movie. You should be aware that it's slow, but you shouldn't be asking yourself, all right, I'm looking at the clock now, I'm waiting, and we have shots of literally just, I could have captured it. I could have captured that myself. Like, if I had two actors and I went on a vacation, there is a possibility. I'm not taking anything away from the director. When I say this, it's gonna sound very snarky and like it took nothing to make this movie or anything like that. I'm not saying that. It plays on the mundaneness of a vacation. It plays on that authentic sort of realistic relationship between the father and the daughter. But I could have potentially made a short version of this movie if I wanted to, just by bringing my camera to a family vacation. And let's say I had two actors, a father, daughter that agreed. I could have potentially made something similar to this movie, if you really think about it, because it is so unbelievably mundane. And some people might argue that that's what makes it so good, that's what gives it that realistic edge that makes you feel for the characters. I would argue that something that mundane, it's hard for me to care about the characters because it's so mundane. So that's why I didn't really like the movie. I do think that it is really overrated because of that, and it's unfortunate because it's not like I hate the movie. I just didn't get it, didn't speak to me, and I personally just think that the acting is the best part about it and the ending, but that just is not enough for me to truly give the movie the credit it feels like it deserves. So that is my hot take. Please let me know below what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Be respectful, but please subscribe. I appreciate all the support as always, and I'll see you on the next hot take. Goodbye.